Alright guys, welcome back again to the channel. As usual, back again to let you know what's happening with the Super Eagles of Nigeria right now, as they started trickling out of the camp one by one. As I said, Maduka Okoye has left and a few others, but as far as the team's official itinerary plan to exit Russia, they plan that they will leave today's night around 7 p.m. So the jet that's going to be picking the contingencies and the players officially to arrive in Nigeria is going to leave around that time. And as you do know, we have a lot of players and also the coaching staff who will be coming to Nigeria as their destination. So it makes sense why the NFF taking care of the whole itinerary. But beyond that, of course, the coach gave some post-match interviews where he talked about a number of things, especially his feelings concerning the match, how his players performed, and also how the Russian team performed. But he also goes beyond that to give kudos to the Russian government, the country as a whole, because of the good reception that they gave the boys, gave he and his boys. Lots of presents everywhere. Every player was just receiving love from the Russian people. It was very, very good to see. So Chelle really commended that. But as far as the game that went down yesterday, Chelle was visibly seen praising this Russian side a whole lot. He praised them from the coach to goalkeeper to their striker. Everybody, he was really praising them. He said that they really impressed him. Although coming into the match, he knew that Russia were the bigger team. Nigeria would always be the underdog. But he said that for a moment, he felt that they were Germany national team. He compared them to Germany, compared their playing style to German style. He said that they were really smart, in terms of their pressing and also recovery as well. Just to load it out in his own words, he said the Russian team is a good team. Your players played great. They have good technique and they are especially strong in pressing. The whole game was interesting, and in my opinion, a draw is a fair result in such a difficult match. And then he goes on to say the game was indeed difficult. We had a few moments, and the Russians did too. I think that two strong teams met. And then when reacting to the areas that he feels that the Super Eagles came short and that they need to work on for future games, Chelle said, "We will make changes. We will work on playing under pressure because this problem has already arisen in the last 3 matches. We need to learn to cope with the opponent's pressing. This was especially noticeable in the second half when we were practically left without the ball. This is thanks to the Russian footballers." The coach also said that he thinks that the 1-1 draw is very, very deserved, that the Super Eagles did their bit to deserve to come away with at least something in that game. He said, "I think that the draw in Moscow is a reason to be proud, especially considering the level of the Russian team." And then he goes on to give some comment about the debutant Olusegun, who he introduced I think in the 76th minute. Chelle said this about him. He says he has many advantages. He is very fast, does not lose the ball, has a strong character, but like any player, he needs to continue working and developing. So those are some of the most interesting things that the coach said, and I must say that's a really good comment or assessment for Olusegun. He's going to be very proud to hear his coach say that about him, because at the end of the day, it shows that he, although didn't have much of the ball, for when he was introduced, but it showed that he did something good. The coach saw the runs, 1 or 2 runs that he actually did that showed that he is promising. Not just the coach, but we as well. I'm sure we saw it. So that is what the coach has said. And then the coach of the Russian side also took time to give his post-match conference, where he was very, very real about the match. Coach heaped a lot of praises on the Super Eagles of Nigeria, comparing them to Cameroon. He says that in recent times, he and his boys have actually played more friendly games with African teams, and that he noticed that Nigeria and Cameroon are the countries or nations that actually give his boys the biggest headache. Unlike the other guys like Zambia, Kenya, that they also played recently, he said Nigeria is by far, you know, the strongest and the one that has the most quality. And also you have Cameroon as well. He said Cameroon gave them an issue. But all in all, he wasn't really surprised because he said if you look at the rankings, the FIFA rankings, you would obviously see that Nigeria is placed somewhere that is respectable. I think we are in 43rd position in global ranking, not where we want to be, definitely. But when you compare our ranking with all of the other, African countries that this coach played, you understand why he's not very surprised that Nigeria gave his boys a run for their money. And just to put things in perspective, right now, this Russian team were cruising. I mean, they've been winning all of their games. Their last 8 friendly games, they've won all of them. They've not even conceded in their last 8 games. So for Nigeria, even scoring them is something to be proud of. Because these guys have been very clinical. They've been beating teams with high margins, 5-0 to Zambia. Granada collected 5. And the list goes on. But when they met Nigeria, we know the story. They couldn't get that victory. They even conceded after their 8th consecutive, clean sheet streak. But at the end of the day, I mean, some kudos needs to go to our goalkeeper. Again, I've said it in previous video. Maduka Okoye really showed up. He meant business. He wanted to make his presence felt. He wanted to show that he can also be the number one if Nwabali messes up. So big credit to him. And then Tolu Akodare seizing up that opportunity, courtesy of a mistake from the goalkeeper of the Russian side to equalize the goal. And then speaking of our goalkeeping position, Nwabali, of course, he wasn't around for that game. He was, he was busy attending the burial of his parents. He actually buried his parents, his mom and dad, that same yesterday, from the look of things. And as you can see, the event went well. We even had a Super Falcons player in the person of goalkeeper Chamaka Nadozie attending the wedding to commiserate to Stanley Nwabali, on that one. And I'm also hearing, I don't know how truthful this is, that NFF actually supported him with the sum of 20 million naira to do the burial for both of his parents. Although I've not verified this, but if this is true, then obviously NFF has done something really nice, something commendable, because this is what it's all about, right? Taking care of the players, their welfare, and everything like that. So big kudos to them. So as I said, the boys will be coming back, and then later today, tomorrow, hopefully, tomorrow morning, we'll have, by God's grace, received the Nigerian contingencies, from Russia into Nigeria. And then Coach Chelle, I'm sure he's probably going to have a meeting with the NFF as well to talk about some things, regarding how to further improve the team, develop, the talent, and scout for more players that, are in the books to transfer their allegiances to play for Nigeria.